So there's a line towards the beginning of the film in the voiceover, Dakota, that questions why we should always tell our stories through relationships. And I just wondered how this movie is sort of different from a rom-com that we're used to seeing.
Well, I think ultimately this movie kind of does tell everyone's story through relationships, but I guess, I mean, I sort of do the same thing. When I think back on times in my life, I think about who I was with, because it kind of forms who you are a little bit. Well, I think it's mostly about all of these different women figuring out who they are on their own and what they like and what's important to them and being true to that.
And Leslie, how did you find creating that sibling relationship?
It just kind of happened naturally, honestly, and luckily. We met each other, and it was just, we instantly felt comfortable around each other, and it was just easy. Thank God.
Yeah. And in Judd Apatow's book, Sick in the Head, he said that you didn't see yourself as a comedian, but it just kind of happened in a way. Does that sort of sum up your approach to comedy? Because it always seems so effortless. It just doesn't seem like you're trying to make it funny, but it just always is.
I always think that I'm doing dramatic acting. I never go into it thinking, like comedy, because I think that's my favorite kind of comedy, like rooted in reality, kind of, and then whatever happens on top of that. And the more rooted in reality, I think the better it is for comedy. Do you know what I mean? Like taking it too far is the way I look at it.
And Dakota, how about creating that duo with Rebel Wilson? How much fun did you have doing that? And why does it work so well, do you think, that duo?
Because I think...
Stay here the whole time while you say it.
Because I think it's an unlikely friendship. I think it's sort of like an unlikely combination of characters, and they bring out the opposite. They bring out a little bit of each other in each other.
And there's a moment in the film where single, the definition's kind of broadened out to not just being in relationships, but not being with your family or even with friends or pets. It's just that real alone time. Just wondered how each of you sort of find being alone, how good you are at being alone in your own company when this chance to do that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Right.
Leslie, you have it.
For me, it doesn't. I enjoy being alone, but then I start to feel like I need company after not very long. So I prefer to have people around. How do you feel when you're alone?
I really like being alone. I kind of do like all the stuff that I want to do when I'm alone. So I read a lot, and I Google a lot of stuff, and I read the news, and I watch the news, and then I watch movies, and then I read more. And then people are like, "Where have you been?" For a week. But I've been in my apartment, rotting and crying.
And when it comes to talking about watching movies at home, when it comes to rom-coms, the one that I go back to at least once a year is Working Girl. And I just wondered which rom-coms or box sets you sort of turn to maybe lift your spirits as well, and why you turn to those.
That's a good one, Working Girl.
That is a good one. Is it awkward for me to say that, though?
No.
I think it is.
It isn't.
You can say it.
I love that movie, and I love, your mother. She's the best.
She's pretty funny, especially right now. I don't know why. She's like really on it. She was funny that day.
She was super funny.
A couple of days ago, she was being extra funny.
And she smells nice.
Yeah, she always smells so good.
Leslie Mann, Dakota Johnson, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,